Hello G.I Joe fans, and welcome back to Classified Report. So it's been a couple months since the last episode of this series because we just haven't had a ton of G.I Joe news recently. However, we do now, kind of. So this past Thursday was G.I Joe Day, which is something that they, I think, first started celebrating last year. And last year they had shown off a bunch of renders for upcoming products, and they did the same thing again this year. So we already knew about pretty much all of these. I think only one thing here was not already name revealed in the past, and I don't know if it was rumored about us getting it or not, but regardless, I'm happy that it's here. So we have 7 new figure renders to take a look at, 6 new products overall. I assume that a lot of these are going to be the next wave of figures. It looks like probably the next wave, and then like a deluxe price point thing, and then a Target thing, I'm assuming. So starting off with the first figure that they revealed today, or on that day, it's Doc. So Doc is a character I know a lot of people have been wanting for a while. I've said many times on this series, I am not a huge familiar person with the G.I Joe brand, so Doc, I don't know who this is, but it looks cool. I love the stretcher that he has. It kind of looks like he's got like a nice, or that's a flare gun, and just kind of a whole medical kind of thing, and I think that's something that definitely we would have needed. We don't have any like medical person for the Joes to have, which makes perfect sense to have, so I'm glad the Doc is finally here. I know he was a requested character, and I really like that you can hinge the stretcher, and I assume probably put it on his back or something like that. Great little detail. Definitely like how he turned out a lot. The next one they showed off was another Dreadnought. They're still going through those. And that is Torch. Looks really good. Love when they include flame effects or any kind of blast effect pieces with anybody. I would have loved to get these kind of effect pieces with Barbecue on either one of his releases. So it's really nice to see them here with Torch. He was another one that they had already named, revealed in the past. I love the leather jacket look. The Dreadnoughts look really fun. And I think that the rumor of us getting a Thunder Machine is really going to turn out pretty well with these. I'm always excited to get more of these Dreadnoughts as we're going through this. The next thing that they revealed was one that I don't believe we had a rumor for. It definitely wasn't in the pipeline of name reveals. And it is a Tiger Force 2-pack. So presumably this will be a Target exclusive because everything Tiger Force is a Target exclusive. I know some people are not a huge fan of the Tiger Force and Python Patrol sublines. I really like both of them, to be honest, so I'm pretty excited for this, actually. And it's a 2-pack of Tripwire and Roadblock. So what's really fascinating to me is that Tripwire was the original regular version of him we just got in the Hasbro Pulse exclusive deluxe release. I don't have that one yet. It looks great. I just been kind of waiting on a sale for him. And this kind of fixes one of my biggest, not complaints, but just kind of gripes with the original release, and that is I thought his chest plate was just really bland, and adding those Tiger Force stripes onto this really does kind of boost the appearance of this to me. So I like this version of Tripwire quite a bit, especially with the insignia on the Macleoid robot. Really cool. Love that whole thing. Roadblock was one that we had a ton of figures of earlier in the line, but we haven't had one since the Cobra Island version, I think. So, or actually the Heavy Artillery one from Amazon, I think was more recent. So we haven't had one in a minute, so I'm perfectly good with a Tiger Force version of Roadblock. He has the gun that comes with the one of the 60th anniversary figures, I think, is that. And since Tripwire was already a deluxe release, I'm going to assume this will probably be like maybe like one of those $50 2-packs or something like that. Presumably, like I said earlier, probably a Target exclusive. Maybe it'll go up during a collector event or one of their collector con things or something, but definitely going to be excited for this, although I probably will wait for a clearance because most Target exclusives for G.I Joe have gone on clearance in the last like 2 years or so, and that's pretty much how I got all of Tiger Force and Python Patrol was on clearance, so I'm probably going to do the same thing for this, although I do like it how it looks a lot. Now going back to regular release figures, I assume this is probably in the same wave as Torch and Doc, and that is our Night Creeper. So I know this was one that was one of the name reveals. I know there was a Night Creeper figure in the Snake Eyes movie basic figures that kind of scaled with Classified. I saw some good pictures of that on Facebook the other day. But I really like this. I know we had already seen like a leaked picture of the Night Creeper helmets. It leaked from like a factory or something. But this is sweet. I like more ninja figures. I like his pattern. I like the color scheme of kind of that really dark purple and the kind of maroon crimson color. It looks like we have a very similar shuriken throwing hand as we had with quick kick. I think it's pretty much the same thing. I definitely like that these figures are including swappable hands now. It really starts adding a lot of good posable options and display options. So really like the Night Creeper. Definitely a fan of that. The next figure here is another deluxe figure, which has a lot of different animals to it. And this is Nagahide, another Dreadnought, which we had already had a name reveal for him. And it looks like Porkbelly and Yabo are going to be his animals. So you get like this boar and a monkey. Looks like, I'm not sure if the monkey is articulated, but this boar, that looks pretty cool. So I assume this will probably be like the $45 price point that Mutton Junkyard were. Because even though technically this has two animals, one is significantly smaller than the other, and he doesn't have like a ton of accessories. He pretty much just has low lights sniper rifle and like this dark green with the case and everything. So he looks really cool. Definitely looks like Tiger King. Very fun dude. So I'm looking forward to that. And then the final figure reveal, which was actually a little earlier in the day than the Nagahide one, but the last regular, so I'm assuming standalone wave figure to go with the other three that they revealed, is Jinx, which is a nice ninja figure. I think this will pair pretty well with the Vipra that came out in Python Patrol. Nice to get a female ninja body on, like, it's kind of a sort of comparison, or will go nicely with like Storm Shadow. It's that kind of look. I think she looks great. I like the red. Makes me think kind of the Cobra Kai Lightning Collection figures that they made recently. I'm definitely a fan of this one. So those are the 7 figures we saw. So presumably this is the next wave of retail figures alongside another deluxe thing and then a Target thing. There was no pre-orders or anything for G.I. Joe Day, which means we're still waiting for a pre-order for that SMS with the Televiper in the His Tank colors. Which we kind of thought was going to happen on G.I. Joe Day, because there is a store on AliExpress that has started to take orders for that. So presumably we're getting that pretty soon too. I'm definitely excited for that. I really want that to go with my His Tank, and I love the color scheme on it. So I'm not sure what's taking so long with that, and I don't know when these are going to go for pre-order. We haven't had a G.I. Joe stream since December, and there's not a ton of things on pre-order, honestly, because a lot of it's starting to come out. So. And there's more 60th anniversary figures and stuff to reveal. I know there's a bunch of code names that came out recently for stuff later on this year. So super excited for Classified series. As always, absolutely love the storyline. I really, really like this storyline a lot. And I'm pretty happy with how these renders turned out. So I'd love to know your guys' thoughts down in the comments below about these renders. What do you think of them? Which characters are you looking forward to? What name reveals that we still have? Which we still have a good amount of name reveals left for them to show off renders and everything. Knowing how this usually works, these will probably be our next pre-order batches, because usually they do name reveal, then render, then pre-order. Now, they didn't do renders back at the December stream, and I assume these would have been the ones they would have shown if they had. So we'll probably get render reveals for all the name reveals from last time at the next stream, whenever that would be. But anything down in the comments below, I want to hear about it. And of course, until next time, you guys can follow me on Twitter at LivingRangerKey or at Classified Figure GI, and I'll see you all later. Yo, Joe.